Boom. Yes, man. You already know what time it is, man. Reminisce Show, reminisce, carrying the tradition of Sankofa. We got to go back and collect what is useful. I go by Logic, and I'm here with my brother.
My man, the Supreme in the cut.
That's
What
right,
up? What
man.
up?
Yes, man. Do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live, discussing hip hop, culture, history, and just figuring out what we need to do to bring things forward, man. So Sankofa, Ubuntu, all of that, man. But
Mhm.
before we get into, there's a few things. This week is TIFF. There's and it's the 50th anniversary of TIFF, by the way. And there's a few hip hop shows and reggae vibes going on, and some other reflections in the news that we're going to get into. But before we do all that, man, we've got to start with our check-in because we got to check on our peoples. That's really what it is. So
That's real. That's real.
yeah, man. So how you doing, brother? How you feeling?
I'm
What
good.
are
I'm
what
good.
are you feeling?
Yo. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. I slept weird last night. My sleeping is weird. As the seasons are changing, but
Yeah.
I'm focusing on my health and my diet. I'm feeling all right. And shout out to big brother Ian Kamau. I saw
Hey,
we had lunch today, and he dropped like 3 or 4 jewels in my brain of things that I had never thought of. Like that's just a
just
way.
3 or 4? Like
Yeah,
man's like
at least in like in the 30 minutes, like he really said a few things that I'm like, I've never thought of that ever in my life that way. Like it
it's
was
that,
just a great conversation. So
that
yeah,
Virgo energy, man.
yeah,
Virgo, yo.
yeah. Yes, yeah. Now as a Virgo
That's
too.
peace, man. Hey, there's a lot of Virgos, man. This is Virgo season, right now. So we're definitely in our element. So I can see Kamal really, drawing in and getting those downloads and just firing them back, man. So big up to brother Kamal. And just one of those reminders of, community and how it shows up, and just like you, because you mentioned this earlier about how, you run into Kamal maybe like once a month and whatever. And Kamal's someone I run into every so often as well, because I'm a walker and I'm sure you're a walker too. Like we're walking around, so you're going to bump into people. But I'm always fascinated of like who I bump into, especially if I bump into them
Mhm.
frequently,
Yeah,
randomly. Like I'm always like, okay, man, there's some energy, there's something that we got to be building on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Those ones
absolutely.
where it's like
Yeah.
you're just,
Yeah,
yeah,
no
yeah,
doubt. I mean, that's Kamal for me 100%. And it's great because I do not take it for granted. And
yeah.
I bumped into him a month ago and he was like, yo, you should check out this book. And I'm like, that's what I've been thinking about for weeks. And like, you didn't even know that I needed that. And then I went and got this book and it gave me
uh,
this guidance that I needed for a whole project. And like, it's like that for real. And I pay attention to those signs. I do not ignore them. And like, no, you're so right.
no, no,
That's
that's
the whole
fire,
King
yo.
of Queen Street album. Literally, the title of the album was made because of that type of scenario. Like, yeah, Lucius
Wow,
from Tone
right.
Mason told me the title of the album because he's like, yo, you're like the King of Queen Street. I can't talk to you for 5 minutes without being bumping into someone. You should, you should make that an album. I'm like, that's a that's a
Okay,
great idea in my life. Before I even did that, I'm like, that's a great idea. I
yeah, no, that's
yeah. So
fire. And that speaks to the energy of community, coming together, man.
yeah.
So I love that,
How you
love that.
doing though? How you doing? How
Yeah,
you feeling?
yeah. I feel like right now I'm in this like interesting space of just, I guess, like alchemizing like energy. I'm going through like a bit of a grief period with the loss of my
Jeez.
grandmother. And yeah. So she passed August 19, and this is my second grandmother for the year. My
Wow.
first one on my father's side passed in January 16. And so it's just one of those things that hit, and just reflecting. I mean, this is the Reminisce Show, so it's perfect where I'm just like reflecting on just like life purpose,
Yeah.
the support systems, like the sense of community. And I don't want to say I took my grandparents for granted, but it was like having that sense of like unconditional love, community, structure, support, that like that source of, if I'm feeling doubtful within myself, I know I can get some stability and reassurance from my grandparents. And having them just always there, like, like had me moving with a certain level of
Wow.
confidence, because I got spiritual help, like my grandmother is a praying grandmother, one of those ones to be praying in the morning and always thinking about others and sending positive vibes.
That's
So now that has come to an end, at least in the physical sense, not in the spiritual sense, it just has me reflecting on like my position where I'm at right now, being in this like middle ground between like ancestors and my children, and I don't want to call us elders, but we have accumulated quite a bit of knowledge that is useful to be passed down and to be shared. So it's more so like stepping into that role, because all of those who are coming before us are transitioning, so it's like we are becoming those people to you know have our elders, the people who have influenced us in a positive way, like live through our actions and our deeds and our ways, so that's just kind of like where my mind is. Online, I created, I post this on Facebook, and it's on my YouTube channel. I just posted this short film that I created called After the Tone, and it was basically just some footage that I filmed in my grandmother's room, like after she passed, because I walked in her room and I was just sitting there. I'm like, wow, her energy is still there. Like her room was she's very clean. The old time Jamaicans, their place is clean, immaculate, spotless, immaculate. And I go into her room, I'm like, wow, man, it's like, everything's just tight and neat and just in her perfect place, and so I spent some time just like sitting there and just filming that. And then what I did is I used some of that footage of like her empty room and just some of the details on her wall and her dresser and stuff like that. And I layered that with past voice notes or voice messages that my grandmother has sent me, so over time, like I was going through them. I was like, wow, I got like voice notes saved from like 2023 and whatnot. So I'm so glad I have her voice, because there's something about that like elder Jamaican voice that I just can't explain, like if just hearing a Jamaican elder speak, it's like music, man. It's healing. It's like,
you don't gotta say nothing. I fully zillion percent. It's like God and guidance and teacher and family, and like this voice of love and like caring and protection, and like it's just so many things. And it's just like the importance of it cannot be. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like the essence of that, So having voice recordings of her voice, and what's even more interesting too is like, just before she passed, I spent some time with her because I wanted to gather some stories and whatnot. And I wish I started a little earlier though, but nevertheless, I'm glad that I was able to do that. And I can say I spent some of her last days, just in good company, So that's what's up, man. So yeah, so this just speaks to all the work that we do with Reminisce Show and preserving culture, history. It's just all about that. Because at the end of the day, all we have is these moments. So let's capture them, and because once they're gone, they're gone. But then later on down the line, we realize like how like important these like subtle moments that seem like nothing in the moment become everything.
Everything, fam. I spend pretty much every day. I spend the last 2 or 3 weeks collecting Michael Jackson moments. I've heard a couple songs I never heard in my entire life. I've seen little moments, little private moments of him doing things. I finally heard the demo of I Can't Help It, I think. And he was like, you could hear him searching for melodies. And he was like trying stuff out. And then you hear the moment where he tries a melody that becomes the melody. And then he goes, I think I like that one, or something like that. He's like, he says something where he's like, I think that's a hot one. And you're like, that's the moment where he found the magic that he chose. Yes, like, oh my God, this is him sketching. You're like, oh my God, this is fucking, do you know how precious this is? And it's just a little tiny moment. And you're just like, this song on this recording is him figuring out the final melody of it was Human Nature. It was Human Nature.
Oh, that's one of my favorite Jackson
songs. And he's like, he was scatting, and then he goes, and then he's like, I think I like that. I'm like, oh my God. So like, I'm just, those little moments are everything, family. I'm so with you, man. So with you on that, because man, you never know when they come, and you'll never know when they're gone. You never.
And to add to that, you're absolutely right. It's just one of those reminders to, yes, acknowledge these moments, but then to also be present in them, and present in those, like, the simplicity of that. I mean, there's times, like, even when I just think of my grandmother, we'd just be just sitting there. What I mean? It's kind of like just sharing
Yeah,
space, and just those simple moments, that seem like, okay, well, whatever. But now I'm looking back, I'm like, wow, that's powerful.
absolutely.
So being present, man, being present.
You said it. You said it, yo. Yeah, and like, yeah, it's a simple wordplay, but I take it for everything that it means. Like, present is
Yeah,
a present. It is a gift. Like
that
it's
is
basic, but it's
that's it.
basic, but it's like, yo, when you can't be present with somebody, you realize the gifts are in the past, and like, you're like,
There we go, man. There we go. Yeah, man. So that's really, the vibe right now. I know that there's, quite a bit of things happening, in the scene, hip hop. And I know there's some politics. I know you mentioned about Donald Trump and some of his health stuffs, which we can get to
yeah,
in a bit. But I definitely want to highlight, some shows that's happening in Toronto in case y'all want to, tap in. So there is, let me see here. So there's someone by the name of AJ McQueen. I'm not familiar with this artist, but they have the When We Evolve tour that's happening at the Velvet Underground September
dope.
2nd. There's also Gigs, UK rapper. You know something? I feel like I might have met Gigs at some point in Toronto. I really feel
Okay.
like I do. But anyways, that's happening at Mod Club September 5th.
Oh, I won't be.
And then
Oh man,
yeah,
Gig. I just want to quickly say,
yeah.
Gigs has an amazing verse on that Slick Rick album. Wicked, wicked. Yeah, Gigs.
Okay.
Like, there's only two people on the Slick Rick album, Gigs and Nas, and like, Nas is great
Wow.
on it,
So
but I'm like, I also really like Giggs's part. Obviously Giggs's name isn't as big as Nas. Nas is a fucking rap god, but
yeah.
like, yo, Giggs, I raped you and I heard you, and you're actually dope as fuck. And I hope you have a good time in Toronto. Unfortunately, we will be out of town, but I'm just putting that out there. Giggs is dope.
Okay, man. That's what's up, man. Yep, this happened at Mod Club. There's also B.O.B., man, Atlanta rapper who made some, like, headlines back in the day, man. First song that comes, I mean, there's many songs, but that Paper Airplanes record, I forgot what it was actually called, but that song was big. That was like a commercial hit. So big up to him. He's coming to Toronto, and I've always wondered about him, man, because I know that in his peak career, man, he was bubbling. And then I remember his socials, he was getting more into, like, the vein of conspiracy theories that I don't know if they were conspiracy, but they're in that vein,
Yeah.
things that make you go, and
Oh,
and then all of a sudden, his whole page, like, all things got erased. And then I remember he put up this song that was just like, it just felt like he was, like, playing the game, like playing the role. He's like, yo, I was getting a little too much with the truth. Let me just splash some illusion real quick. And then it just, like, disappeared. I was like, yo, like, so I don't know if I were to ever, come across him and interview, I need to get some clarity on what happened in that specific time frame. So that show is happening in Mod Club September 16th, man. So big up B.O.B., man. He actually has a lot of hits, man. You got some big tunes, man.
Yeah,
So
Bobby Ray.
shout out
I
to
remember.
him. Yep.
Yo, shout out. He was
Another
playing guitar for a minute too.
Okay.
I remember he pulled out a guitar, and that was a lane that he entered. But yeah, sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw somewhere that Shad might be releasing a new album.
Oh, is it officially?
I don't know if it's officially, if there's a date, but I know there's some. Anyways, we will be in tune with that, because that sounds like we may have to have him, featured on the Reminisce Show again.
Definitely.
So we'll definitely look at that.
I won't reveal to, like, I don't know anything official, but I spoke to him this year, and he did say that he was working on something. So
okay, so hopefully we'll get to see that. Another thing in Toronto is TIFF, man. You know what I'm saying? The Toronto International Film Festival, man. So that is happening.
50th anniversary. Yeah, I want to try to see something. I'm gonna be missing 4 days of it, but when I come back in town, I want to try to see a movie next week. See, gotta be something. Yo, gotta be someone coming through. I actually, I started up the Mindbender Loves You campaign again. So yeah, just
Okay.
been going around, just spraying some Mindbender Loves You on in this city of Toronto. And I actually I went right down by the TIFF building and put a couple right in very strategic spots in front of the TIFF building. And then right when I was going to put one more down right by the door when you walk out of the kiosk, some not French, this British dude comes out. He's like, "You can't do that." I was like, ah. And I'm like, I have my stencil in my hand and the spray paint, and I'm like, I was just about, and I'm like caught literally red-handed. And he's like, "You can't do that here." And I'm like, fuck. So then I just like walked to the sidewalk and just did it more on the sidewalk. I'm like, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah, man, we got to make it happen, man. This is hip hop,
exactly. So it was actually dope. This musician dude who had like some kind of punk rock metal shirt, he's like, I saw that shit, man. He's like, that's some bullshit. He's like, fuck them, man. Yo, just do your shit. And I was like, yeah, I know, man. We're musicians, man. Fucking art is art, man. He's corporate ass motherfucker. Yep. Like, y'all do big ass billboards and fuck out of here, man. We can all promote our shit.
That's it, man. That's it.
I'm just like, it's just a message, man. I'm not even like selling anything. I'm just putting Mindbender Loves You around,
yo. Word up, man. No doubt, man.
Actually, on that note, we can get into a little bit of the politics stuff that's going on.
Absolutely,
yeah, man. Let me see. It's September 2nd. Donald Trump he's sick, man. Donald Trump.
Like for real.
Like there's no they're covering it up. They're like, this is happening real time right now. They are covering up Donald Trump's sickness. Some people thought he had actually died in the last few days because he hadn't been seen publicly since August 26th. He hadn't like he has a black like melanoma thing on his hand. Like he's got this really there's all these really weird things. So he's sitting at his desk and there's like a bunch of 4 or 5 dudes about 10 feet away from him, and he refuses to get up or show his hands, and he's throwing MAGA hats. He's like just throwing red hats to these dudes. He's just throwing the hats. He's like, someone's in the same room as you, and he's like not moving, and it's not like he's lazy or anything. It's the middle of the day, and he's like acting strange for a weird reason. So it's been put together that one, he's hiding his hands because the one picture came out and he's got a big black mark on the back of one of his hands, and somebody's like, this is like a melanoma, like for a serious cancer, and they're like, some medical people are like, I diagnosed this for real, and they're like, the queen had this on her hand 4 days before she died. Like they showed a picture of the queen, and they're like, she had the same black mark on her hand, and they're like, Trump has this, and they're like, some health people are like, I diagnose this every day. This man will not live out his term. He's got 6 to 9 months to live. This is and they were saying, the two things they were saying is he's trying to cover his hands and his feet because they say his like feet are swelling or something. These are signs of the disease.
Yeah.
And like the reason he wasn't getting up to hand these people the hats or anything is because he was like hiding his hands, because there's one clear picture of it and you could see it. Like he's got this big black mark on his hand, and like people are like, Trump is sick as fuck and he's trying to hide it, and he could die within the next 6 to 9 months or even sooner. And he's lying to the people. He's not like, he's like, the public appearances are different. Like, and there's just, this is happening right now. There is even like, I won't go too much into it because I studied a lot of it. There was like yesterday in Washington, there was this black dude who was just like, I live here in Washington. And he's like, you can't get to the White House. They've blocked off all this stuff. The hospital between here and the White House, there's some weird shit happening. And it's just this black dude. He's like, I'm in Washington. They're doing some shit there. They're not even telling you. Something's fucked up. They're covering something. And I don't even know, but something's fucked up. So I'm just like, and it's all like adding to Trump being sick and them not wanting to confess it. So
Yeah, like there's some weird stuff going on. I saw like randomly online someone was talking another conspiracy vein, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe this is pattern recognition. I don't know. But they were saying like with the Pentagon, there's times when they like order like a lot of pizza or whatever, meaning that like I guess like nobody's leaving the Pentagon and they're staying there, and every time this has happened, like a significant amount, something crazy, some crazy shift has happened. So I don't
Wow.
know if they're connected. I don't know if this people are just talking the smack or whatever. It is fascinating to me. It is interesting. When I think about the amount of things that we've seen within our lifetime, like we are really in that time frame of just shifting, like the changing of the guard, like whatever you want to call it,
Oh,
where systems are collapsing, new ones are coming back up. Like we are in that like eye of the storm. Like we have witnessed so much. Like this is those moments in history textbooks that are going to be like reading about 100 years from now.
without question.
Like
This
we're
is
living through it. Like that's crazy.
no. This is these are the crossroad moments. These are
Yeah,
really
yeah,
these are the train track moments where we shift from one track to another
yes,
and and not go back. Like there's some real major like things going down. So yeah,
yeah.
man, it's not like I'm not like I just want karma and life to take its course. I'm not necessarily wishing death on people, but I also feel like people reap what they sow. And if you're not a loving, respectful human being who can like acknowledge and respect people who have differences, but also be like, hey, we're all humans and you like chocolate, I like vanilla. Like we both deserve to have ice cream. It's not
Yeah.
like kill all the fucking vanilla eaters. I'm a chocolate eater. Like it's not like, Trump is taking politics to he fucking cut off Kamala Harris's Secret Service detail last week. Like and Kamala Harris is like has had attempts on her life, like fully,
Wow.
and Biden extended it, was like, hey, you're not president, but you're still a politician, and we want to protect you, so you'll
Yeah.
have Secret Service detail. Trump has canceled it. It's like, fuck you, you're on your own kind of shit. And it's
Wow.
like, yo, that's some whack shit. Like Bush and other dudes are like, hey, you might be Republican, I might be Democrat, but I at least respect you're a politician
Yeah.
and your life deserves to be protected.
Right.
And Trump don't play like that no more. So I'm like, yo, man, I'm not. Yo, when I hear news that mans might die, it's like,
So in the event, I don't wish death on nobody, but
yeah.
it's inevitable. It's all gonna come knocking at our door at some point. But in the event that this happens sooner than expected, what happens? Like what's the protocol? Who's the acting, I guess, president? What does that chain of command look like?
Technically, that means that JD Vance becomes president. So yeah, the vice president becomes president. So JD
Yeah, okay,
Vance.
got you.
So that would be what happens. And yeah, like, there's
Well,
just yeah. I mean, that would be
and
better than what we got now.
just to go back, when you're talking about this like melanoma type of thing, and a big patch, like I need to like do some more research on that. That is very fascinating to me. And the fact that you said like the queen as well
yeah,
got this patch of melanin that
I don't know if I'm misdiagnosing it.
well,
I think
yeah,
it's but like it's this like
but
it's
some type
a
of
black splotch on their hand. I've been looking at this picture the last 2 or 3 days. They're like Trump he's not publicly showing himself
Mm.
and there's it was September August 27th or 26th is when they took that picture of his hand, and they're saying, yo, his ankles are bloating and his hand is sick, and these are the signs of, like, I've seen 3 different medical professionals be like, I am looking at these pictures and I deal with this every day. That is the sign of somebody who is about to die. And they're like,
Wow.
this is serious shit. And they're like, we're not even just saying this because Trump is a shitty person. We're like, the responsible thing is to communicate the truth. Like, which is why Biden respectfully was like, hey, I'm getting too sick to do the job. I got to step down.
Right.
Like that
Right.
was a logical thing to do. Like that's what real fucking humans do. Like
Yeah.
regardless of politics. Like I am not physically able to continue this high responsibility job. And Trump is such a fucking liar. He's like, yo, I'm gonna cling to this power until I'm fucking like dead,
Yeah.
even though I am sick, and like on a variety of levels. So yeah, shit is this is another part of the major crossroads we're at. Like, yeah, Trump is sick and he's hiding it. So.
Well, hey man, we're going to find out what's happening soon enough, man. But yeah, it is a lot of just weird energy, man. Things are just definitely moving around, and
a lot of weird energy right
now. Yeah. We just gotta, hold the faith and just keep pushing forward, man. The same way how we've always been.
That's real, man. I'm repping for truth and justice, man. I hold on to truth and justice and just dignity for humanity, man. Even like, yeah, there's people like there's the complications of the whole Israeli Palestine, and it's like obviously free Palestine, obviously, but like fundamentally, I'm like, try not to kill anybody. Like, how about peace and fucking like even people that I don't agree with politically, like I don't want them dead, and I don't think anybody should want people that are like the opposite side of the spectrum dead. Like, what the fuck? Because like that is what we evolved out of slavery when white people could just kill us because they didn't like us.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to perpetuate the same bullshit that they were doing because that's not the fucking answer. Like
big facts, yo.
Even if you could kill somebody and not get punished for it, like, do you want that on your conscience? Like, I don't.
Big facts, man. Yep.
Yeah, I'll just leave it there, man. Like I don't. If somebody does something to me, man, I want to Malcolm X, self-defense by any means necessary, but like, I ain't gonna like just start killing for sport. That's kind of uncivilized.
Yeah, man. Mash up, man.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, man. That's deep enough on that thought.
for sure, man. Keeping it moving with just Toronto events. This year is TIFF, the 50th anniversary of the Toronto International Film Festival, and there's a lot that's happening. But just like two things that have come up on my radar.
Yeah, what are you seeing?
Which is Degrassi. It's a documentary on Degrassi. It says Whatever It Takes. And it's featuring Drake and a few other past cast members.
That's wild.
I'm assuming, if they're doing Degrassi, I assume they're starting from like the beginning, and how Degrassi came about and how Degrassi influenced 90210. I wonder if people know that kind of history. But anyways, I'll leave it.
Real talk. Boom.
Yeah, really, like that's what influenced that, So I'm sure that they're going to, mention that in the documentary, which is an interesting story. But so that's happened. Degrassi to me is, that's like a Canadian heritage moment. I think about some of like the social commentaries of Degrassi back in like the 80s. They were talking about, like drugs, abortion, like murder or death, and just all different kinds of things, the old school like 80s Degrassi is pretty wild, if you go back and take it in. It's like this was on TV back then. That's crazy. But to me, like it was authentic because it allowed real, authentic, and honest conversations to happen on some challenging topics. It wasn't just sitcom. It was like real issues that actually happened. So big up to Degrassi. Another documentary film that is coming out is it's called Origin, man. The story of the Basketball Africa League. So that is going to be a pretty interesting one. And that's actually happened on my birthday, man, September the 8th. They got like a world premiere with Q&A with some of the folks who's been involved with that and whatnot. So yeah, man. And that's just a few. Anybody who else wants to know what's happening in TIFF, check out the website. I'm sure there's an abundance of incredible films. I'm thinking about just even walking around, sometimes just walking around in that area, on the King Street area is a vibe, so you never know, you might see some live on location Reminisce Show vibes going on this week.
Yo, that's proper. That's tight. And like I was actually just biking past there. They're doing Metro Hall real big. They're already doing the front of the Royal Alexandria Hall and all the
Okay.
like. Yeah, they're making it all fancy. And yeah, like you can just see people. Like you can just, even if you don't see movies, you can just see certain celebrities or whatever. Just see like just human energy, which is pretty fun. You know, they got promo stuff there too, which is cute. Whatever, might grab you some free movie merch of some kind,
Mm,
like some free products. So yeah, it's just good. It's good energy. And yeah, this 50th anniversary. Hopefully they'll do some something over the top. Uh,
mm.
yeah, man, I gotta do a little recon myself. Yeah, I'll see what I can bring next week to the show from my TIFF excursions. So
Mm.
yeah, I gotta
That's
I
what's up.
gotta I gotta see if I can do a little more spray painting.
Okay, okay. Well, hey, man, that's what's up, man. I don't know if there's anything else in the hip hop world or any anything that's on your radar culturally. You did mention about like Young Thug. I don't know if you had something to build on that.
Not much. I saw that Young Thug, some testimony came out on him, and he was snitching on, I think it was Pee Wee Roscoe or something like that, who
Mhm.
apparently is the guy who shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus.
Ooh.
And yeah, that's the case. And yeah, so I think it came out that Young Thug kind of snitched on the dude, but the dude says that Young Thug didn't, but Young Thug kind of told, there's like document, like court,
Yeah.
like the cops are asking him things, and Young Thug saying some names. And then there's like beef with Gunna and all these. I don't know. It's very confusing to some people unless you really follow
Mhm.
Atlanta trap hood
Yeah,
culture
yeah, yeah.
stuff, and like yeah, it's just a lot of crime, grimy street shit that I want hip hop to kind of evolve beyond.
Yeah, we got to, man.
A lot of people just calling each other rats and snitches and all this shit, and it's like, yeah, but also like, what the fuck, man? Like, just get the fuck out of the streets, man. Like, fuck off. Streets is
Yeah.
whack, yo. Like, we all have better things to do with our time. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird, and yeah, I tried to do some research on it, but it's also, I'm like, yo, man, this is all. Let's just say this is not black excellence. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
at a certain point, I'm just like, man, fuck that. I don't. Our people, we can do better. So
Well, I see this as an opportunity, man, to like bring in a new form of culture, or maybe it's a Sankofa vibe. Like maybe, the stuff that we've been building on and things that we defend will become trending again. People are like, yeah, I actually want to raise my consciousness and build a community, like for real this time. We're not trying to build followers, man. We want to build a community. Like that's really where we're at.
yo, that's so really it, man. And like, yeah, this is. I ain't just going. Yeah, just ain't perpetuating certain stereotypes. Like I respect other walks of life, and for sure. Like I respect the streets and stuff. But it's also like it's the behavior. Like I buy shit off the streets all the time. I buy my shoes. I bought it
Yeah.
off this woman who's selling, this grimy woman hustling shoes. I'm like, yo, I respect the street economy for real. But like, it's also like honor amongst thieves and shit, not like
Mhm.
stab a brother in the back. Anyways,
True.
I wish them all the best. Fucking, I hope you all become Jay Z's and stop dealing crack and just get out of the street life and just make get out, make money out of entertainment and just leave that street shit behind. That's all I wish.
Yeah, like I mentioned, in our previous chat where, someone made a post saying that it seems like some of this drill culture is kind of slowing down a bit. And then someone jumped in and was like, yeah, because the artists who are in that lifestyle are dying or they're going to jail. And so, people who are observing are being like, yeah, this may not be it anymore. Like it used to look cool, but I don't know if this is it. And we
That's
do
so
need a
true.
cultural shift, and that's a fair assessment to be
That's a
real,
very fair and accurate assessment.
yeah,
That's for
to be
real.
like we got to do something different. So, as like the saying goes, man, like out of chaos comes order, and when there's chaos, there's opportunities, and if we gotta, use our lens to figure out what that is to transform things,
Yep.
That's all it is, man. Alchemizing the energy, man.
Yep. That's it. That's really what we got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think
Cool,
that's
man.
about it.
Yeah, okay.
What else? Oh yeah, one quick little thing I wanted to say. It's not even much, but I saw that. So I've been listening to shout out to Ghostface Killer because Supreme Clientele 2 came out, and I like it. I like it. It's just great. Been a very great year for Raekwon made a good album. Ghostface made a good album.
Jeez.
Yes, good times. But I saw very briefly that Ghostface was talking about he wanted to get Lil Wayne on it. And Lil Wayne apparently was asking for $150,000 for the verse, and it was like, oh man, what the fuck? And like apparently he was like, he knew that it was for Ghostface for Supreme Clientele 2. It's like, what the fuck? So,
damn.
Yeah, and like MOP is on it, Styles P is on it, Redman's on it, Meth. Ghostface. I mean, not go. Like, there's so many other people that are on it who are like know the honor of it, and they're like, "Yo, that they're not charging $150,000."
Yeah, like I do understand that as business, people need to, like I'm not saying do for free, but $150K, man. Like, I mean,
how about $15,000? Like,
even like a 50K verse, like, that's like okay, like, but like to me, 150, I don't know, man. That sounds kind of like
that's what you charge Mariah Carey because she's got a fucking, she got a $4 million budget. That's what you charge Beyonce.
She
got the money. That's not even her money.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what do you mean? This is fucking indie Wu-Tang.
And this is my thing though, like, like where is that balance? Because I know as an artist, there's a level where you gotta have, integrity, and you gotta know your value, which I respect. But then like what's that line? Because between advancing like the culture and just even respect for like some of these I don't not necessarily a pioneer though, but these guys have been in hip hop for quite some time, extremely influential, what that balance looks like. And I think this is also the problem within our community. Things get too commodified where we're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this because he ain't gonna pay me, then like whatever. But not looking at it, it's like, yo, from a cultural standpoint, like, New York, the South, just, being part of that, like what that could do. It's that line, like, like where do we prioritize or at least center community and culture as opposed to just centering around monetization and
exactly that, like
commodification, right?
Yeah, like Lil Wayne, you missed out on being on a historic monumental album. Like, come on, bro. Like, you don't need that money. Like, wouldn't you have rather been like cemented on a classic? Like, you weren't on the like, yo, man, you haven't there isn't Lil Wayne Wu-Tang shit yet, man. Not that I can really think of. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
They're like, yo, man, you should have done that shit for the culture, for the people. So, but anyways.
It is what it is, man. All good. Yeah, so I guess we can sign off like that. Every Tuesday, Reminisce Show live, 7 p.m. Eastern time, carrying the traditions of Sankofa, going back to collect what is useful, and of course Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. That's it, man. We're going to carry the way, bring back the legacy, man, the history, the culture. That's what I'm saying, man. You got any signing off words for us?
I got the same message I got, yo. Do what you love, seek what you love, protect what you love, and love what you love.
That's it, yo.
Yo, that's it.
All right.
I'm gonna go take a little walk, enjoy the day, and yeah.
Sounds good, man. All right, so that's it, man. So we're gonna sign off like